Let's be real. When you hear the word discipline, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's something painful, right? Like a brutal, exhausting boot camp for your mind. Well, what if I told you that entire idea is just wrong? So let's cut right to the chase with a big question. Is being disciplined really just about gritting your teeth and powering through the pain? The short answer, absolutely not. In fact, that whole approach is basically designed to fail, and we're about to unpack why. And that brings us to what we can call the willpower myth. See, we've all been sold this story that discipline is a constant battle of wills. But here's the reality: if you always have to force yourself to do something, you're on a one way track to burnout. You're probably going to lose that will within a few days. I mean, just look at the contrast here. On the left, you've got the standard view of discipline. It's all pain, exhaustion, and brute force. But this new idea on the right, it's so much more powerful. It's all about aligning what you do with who you are so that doing the right thing starts to feel, well, natural, not forced. Let's think about this another way. Believing you can win just by using sheer willpower, that's like walking into a casino and putting all your money on a single roll of the dice. It's a total gambler's game. And trust me, the odds are seriously stacked against you. And here's the kicker. In this game, your own brain is the casino. See, it's wired for instant gratification and quick wins, not for long-term planning. So when you bet your future goals against those deep, primal urges for what's easy right now, the house almost always wins. So why do we keep making this terrible bet on willpower? Well, a huge part of it is something called survivorship bias. We only see the one big winner and we completely ignore all the failures. Something like 75% of startups backed by venture capital actually fail, but we only hear about the rock star successes. And that gives us this totally false hope and a messed up idea of the real odds. This quote from a financial planner just completely nails the problem. Making decisions based on emotion is pure poison when you're investing. When feelings like fear and greed take the wheel, they totally hijack your long term plan. And you know what? It's exactly the same in life. Okay, so if the gambler's approach is a bust, what's the alternative? It's all about adopting an investor's mindset. We need to shift away from those risky, all or nothing bets and move towards a strategy that's all about patient, long term growth. And the secret weapon for every smart investor? It's compounding. This is the simple magic of small, consistent actions building on top of each other to create huge results over time. It's not about one single heroic push. It's about the quiet, unstoppable power of just showing up day after day. Investment strategist Liz Ann Saunders puts it perfectly. She says that jumping in and out of the market based on a whim is just gambling. Real success doesn't come from a single lucky break. It comes from having a disciplined process that you stick with consistently over a long period of time. So let's just break it down side by side. The gambler goes for those huge all or nothing bets and, just like in a real casino, almost always loses. The investor, on the other hand, makes small, consistent bets and over the long run tends to win. It's simple, really. The odds are just in their favor. Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, but how do we actually do it? Well, it's all about stacking the deck in your favor. It's about building systems that are actually designed to win, even on the days you don't feel motivated at all. The main idea here is incredibly simple, but so powerful. You have to play the odds, not the streaks. That means you have to completely ignore the gambler's fallacy. That dangerous feeling that you're due for a win just because you've been losing? Nope. Every single choice is a fresh start. You just have to focus on making the smart play every single time. And here's your game plan. First, create repeatable systems, kind of like a pilot's pre-flight checklist. It's not about being flashy, it's about being reliable. Second, automate those choices whenever you can, like setting up an automatic investment from your paycheck. And third, and this is a big one, focus on consistency, not intensity. A little bit every day is so much better than one massive effort once in a blue moon. Just look at this comparison. Trying to learn a new skill by pulling a crazy all-nighter, that's the lottery ticket approach, a huge gamble that almost never pays off. But the compounding approach, just practicing a little bit every day, that's making small, reliable deposits that are basically guaranteed to build real skill over time. And this all leads us to the final, and honestly the most important shift in how we think about this. We have to change the game itself. Discipline is not some magical personality trait you're either born with or you're not. It has nothing to do with who you are, it has everything to do with the systems you build and what you do. As the author Charles Ellis once joked, Las Vegas is busy every day, so we know that not everyone is rational. It's so true. We are biologically wired to fall for those quick fixes and emotional gambles. And that's the whole key. Once you know your brain is wired that way, you can build systems to protect yourself from your own worst instincts. So, what's the bottom line here? Let's just quickly recap the big ideas. First, please remember discipline is a process you build, not a trait you're born with. Second, good systems will always be more reliable than pure willpower. Third, those small, consistent actions will always beat out rare, heroic efforts. And finally, you gotta play the long game. Stack the deck in your favor. Look, most people fail not because they're weak, but because they're playing the wrong game entirely. They're betting on willpower against a brain that's literally designed to find shortcuts. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this: the house always wins, unless you stop gambling and start changing the rules of the game.